Somewhere right now, a Windows 11 user is staring at a spinning white circle that will never stop. And the terrifying part is that they did everything right by clicking the update button Microsoft pushed to their desktop yesterday. Within the next 24 hours, thousands of machines running the latest build of Windows 11 are going to hit a digital wall because of a specific package labeled KB5086672. This isn't a minor bug or a glitch in the start menu. We are talking about a critical failure in the boot sequence that can trap your PC in a perpetual loop of automatic repair that it can never actually finish. If you haven't installed this update yet, you need to stop what you're doing and block it. If you have, we are on a countdown before your next restart becomes a gamble with your data. Microsoft hasn't issued a formal recall on this patch yet, but the telemetry from independent security researchers suggests this is a code red situation for anyone using modern NVMe drives. Let me show you exactly what is happening under the hood and why your PC is currently a ticking time bomb. To understand why KB5086672 is causing modern hardware to choke, we have to look at how Microsoft changed the way kernel-level drivers interact with the secure boot architecture in this specific patch. The kernel is the brain of your operating system. It sits at the lowest level of your hardware, managing how your CPU talks to your storage. In this update, Microsoft attempted to harden the bootloader, the piece of code that tells your computer how to wake up, against a very specific type of malware. But in doing so, they've accidentally invalidated the digital signatures of millions of third-party storage drivers. If your PC uses a high-speed SSD from a brand like Samsung, Western Digital, or Crucial, there is a high probability that this update will see your drive's driver as a threat and block it from loading. Think about that for a second. Your computer starts up, tries to find the drive where Windows is actually stored, and then stops because it no longer trusts the hardware it's plugged into. This isn't just a theory. Kevin Beaumont, a world-renowned security researcher who previously worked at Microsoft, has been tracking the critical process died errors associated with this specific update cycle. His findings, corroborated by independent testing at the AV Test Institute, show a direct correlation between the KB5086672 patch and a corruption of the boot configuration data, or BCD. When that BCD file gets corrupted, your computer forgets where the on switch is. It's like trying to start a car after someone has swapped the ignition key for a wooden stick. It might fit in the slot, but nothing is going to happen. You get a blue screen of death, a reboot, and then the dreaded preparing automatic repair screen. For most users, that screen is a dead end. It will run for 6 hours and accomplish absolutely nothing because it's trying to fix a software error with a tool that no longer has permission to access the drive. Think about what that means for you. Your family photos, your tax documents, that project you've been working on for 3 weeks, it's all sitting on that drive. While the data itself isn't deleted, it becomes functionally inaccessible to the average user once the bootloader is fried. You are looking at a scenario where you might have to perform a clean install, wiping your entire C drive just to get back to a desktop. We've seen this pattern before with the CrowdStrike incident, but this time, the call is coming from inside the house. Microsoft is the one pushing the kill switch. According to reports from the Windows Release Health Dashboard, this issue is disproportionately hitting users who have BitLocker encryption enabled. If you don't have your 48-digit recovery key printed out and sitting in a drawer, and your PC hits this boot loop, your data is essentially gone. It's encrypted behind a door that no longer has a handle. But here is what really bothers me about this. It wasn't an accident. If you're wondering why Microsoft would push an update that clearly wasn't ready for prime time, you have to look at the shift from Windows being a product to Windows being a service. In the old days, you bought a disk, you installed Windows, and it stayed that way. Today, you are essentially a free beta tester for their enterprise stability. Microsoft uses a staged rollout system which sounds professional, but in plain English it means they send the update to a few million guinea pigs first to see if their computers explode. If the telemetry, that's their fancy word for tracking your every move, doesn't show a catastrophic number of crashes, they push it to everyone else. You are the laboratory. They are drawing lines in the sand and asking you to accept the risk so they can save money on their own internal quality assurance teams. When Microsoft announced Windows 11, they talked about unparalleled security and the most stable Windows ever. But internal documents and the sheer volume of recalled patches over the last 12 months show a different story. They are prioritizing the integration of their Recall AI features and Copilot over the fundamental stability of the file system. It's like a landlord coming into your house to install a fancy new security camera while the foundation of the building is literally cracking in half. They tell you it's for your protection, but the data shows it's actually about their data pipelines and AI training models. They need your machine to be always updated so they can maintain a constant stream of information back to their servers. When a patch like KB5086672 breaks your system, to them, it's just a statistical outlier. To you, it's a ruined week and a potential loss of years of digital memories. It's like being forced to live in a house where the builder keeps coming back in the middle of the night to change the locks, and sometimes he forgets to give you the new key. If you felt like something was off with your computer lately, if it feels slower, if the fans are spinning louder, if things just don't feel snappy anymore, you aren't being paranoid. You are witnessing the weight of 1,000 small telemetry background processes and unoptimized patches slowing your hardware to a crawl. This is manufactured obsolescence dressed up as security. They want you to think you need a new AI PC with a dedicated NPU just to run a web browser, but the truth is, your current hardware is perfectly fine. It's just being strangled by the operating system. So, what can you actually do about this? We need to act before that next scheduled restart happens. I'm going to walk you through a multi-layer solution stack to get this update off your system and keep it off. We aren't just going to hit pause updates for a week. I'm going to show you how to nuke this specific package so it can't resurrect itself. Layer 1 is the immediate removal. If you are currently at your desktop, press the Windows key and type Command Prompt. You must right-click it and select Run as Administrator. This is crucial because we are about to give the system an order it usually tries to ignore. Type the following command exactly: USA uninstalls KB5086672 and hit Enter. This tells the Windows Update standalone installer to hunt down that specific package and rip it out. If it tells you the update isn't installed yet, count yourself lucky, but stay with me because we still need to block it from coming in tonight. This process takes about 3 minutes and costs you nothing, but it could save you $1,000 in recovery fees. Layer 2 is the Show or Hide Updates tool. Microsoft actually released a small utility years ago that they've tried to bury on their support site, diagcab. I've archived a clean version of it on my GitHub for those who can't find it. Run this tool, click Hide Updates, and look for KB5086672 in the list. Check the box and hit Next. This creates a block list in your registry that tells the Windows Update orchestrator to pretend that patch doesn't exist. It's like putting a Do Not Disturb sign on your door that the mailman actually has to respect. Layer 3 is for the advanced users, or those who have pro editions of Windows. MMSC in your Start menu. Navigate to Computer Configuration, Administrative Templates, Windows Components, and finally, Windows Update. Look for Manage End User Experience and find the setting called Configure Automatic Updates. Set this to Enabled, but change the sub-option to 2, Notify for Download and Notify for Install. This is the single most important change you can make to your PC. It takes the power away from Microsoft and puts it back in your hands. From now on, Windows will tell you an update is available, but it will not touch your files until you give it the OK. You are the admin of your own computer again, not a guest. Finally, Layer 4. If you are already stuck in the boot loop and you're watching this on your phone, you need to trigger the Advanced Startup menu. Usually this happens after 3 failed boots. Go to Troubleshoot, then Advanced Options, and select Command Prompt. From here you have to use a tool called dism. Type dism-image to see, get packages to find the identity of the update, and then use the Remove Package command to strip it out of the offline image. This is a specialized procedure, but it is the only way to unlock a bricked PC without losing your data. You'll know it worked when the automatic repair screen finally gives way to your lock screen. I have to include a disclaimer here. If you are using a computer issued by your employer or a school, these registry and group policy tweaks might be blocked by your IT department. Do not attempt to bypass corporate security policies. However, for every home user, gamer, and freelancer out there, these steps are the bare minimum required to keep your machine under your control. This isn't about disabling security features like Windows Defender or Smart Screen. You should absolutely keep those enabled to protect against actual malware. This is about disabling instability features that Microsoft calls cumulative updates. Now, here's the bigger picture. We are moving toward an era of computing where ownership is being replaced by permission. Microsoft is drawing lines in the sand, and every time you accept a default setting or a recommended update without checking it, you're stepping across that line into their territory. Your machine, your terms. That needs to be your mantra. This isn't just about one bad update in April 2026. It's about a pattern of behavior from a company that has forgotten that they work for you, not the other way around. Think about why this matters beyond just this one issue. Your passwords, your banking information, your private conversations, it all lives on this OS. If the company that manages that OS can't be bothered to test a bootloader patch before sending it to 100 million people, can you really trust them with the recall feature that takes a screenshot of your desktop every 5 seconds? You're not paranoid for caring about this. There are millions of us who are tired of the update and restart gamble. Whether you choose to stay on Windows and harden it with the steps I showed you, or you finally decide to make the jump to a Linux-based system where you truly own the kernel, the choice has to be yours. You started this video with a potential boot loop and a system under threat from its own creator. Now you have the tools to kill that threat and the knowledge to prevent the next one. This is the direction things are moving, and the automatic way is no longer the safe way. You have to be an active participant in your own digital security. Do not wait until tomorrow to check your update history. Do it right now. If you see KB5086672 sitting there with a pending restart status, do not shut down your computer. Run the uninstall command I gave you immediately. If this helped you secure your system and stay out of that repair loop, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next threat warning. I track these specific patch cycles the moment they hit the Canary and Dev builds, often weeks before they reach the general public. I'll tell you exactly which updates are safe and which ones are landmines for your hardware. Drop a comment and let me know. Did you catch this update in time, or are you currently fighting your way out of a boot loop? I read every single one of your stories, and it helps us build a better map of which hardware configurations are being hit the hardest. Share this with anyone you know who uses a Windows 11 laptop. You might just save their entire digital life before they hit that update button tonight. Your machine belongs to you. Let's keep it that way.